welcome to another edition of Inside Broncos Basketball with Coach Bob Huffman. I'm Tony Sellers, and what a week it was last week for the Broncos. 3-1, 4 games in 1 week in 6 days.
In 4 states.
In 4 states, 2,000 miles.
No plane.
In a bus.
In a bus.
In the snow.
With a bunch of dudes.
And I tell you, incredible. It was an endurance run for you, and Sunday made the difference, the final game of the leg.
Yeah.
Whether you were going to finish 2-2 on the week or 3-1, and so it turns out you 2 points away, 3 points from being 4-0 on the week.
We had a shot at the buzzer to do that. Carson missed it, but started with a great win against Lincoln at home, and went to Nebraska and were able to get that one, and then. Fort Hays on Saturday, we had an opportunity. We were ahead most of the game. They made a run late, and we lost by 2. So then we travel right after that game to St. Joe, Missouri, and it's 0 degrees and a foot of snow and craziness, and we do no practice, no walkthrough, play Sunday, watch film, do our scouting report, and it was amazing how our guys fought like crazy, and you mentioned it earlier, and to have the legs they did, do what they did. So that's a credit to our guys and our team, and multiple players had great contributions in that four-game stretch.
Yeah, they had every reason not to have any energy that last game. And the first 5 minutes, I said, would decide if they were there to play, and they were certainly there to play. Last 2 games on the road especially, you shoot 50% on the road at Fort Hays State and lose by 2. And then yesterday, I figured it up, you shot 77% from 2-point range and 63% overall on the road again and score 101 points.
Yeah, I mean, we executed, our guys shared the ball. They found the way to get different angles to get the ball in, and it's really you try to take the defensive principle and use it against itself. That's what we've always tried to do. And they started out pressing us, and we were able to get the ball ahead, and guys just played. I think it really got us going early, which a lot of times press can keep you from certain things, but I thought this time it actually helped us get going early in that game against Missouri Western, who's a really good team. They were rated earlier in the year. They had won every game at home, so we were able to get them yesterday.
Well, let's go back to the last home game. You started it off playing Lincoln at home, picked up a big victory in that
I
game.
almost can't remember.
Yeah, that seems like a month ago, doesn't it?
At least a couple of weeks ago.
Incredible.
And to be honest, I can't tell you the score, but we did win. I remember that.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of guys make plays in that game, and we knew it was going to be a long week, so we always play a lot of players. But I thought they were really athletic. They could get to the basket. We had a hard time guarding them, but they had a hard time containing us too. And they had to zone a lot. We still made some shots and were able to get the job done.
Then the road trip began, a bus ride to Kearney, Nebraska. Well, that was the longest straight stretch of your trip, and started off that 3-game road gauntlet with a big victory there.
Yeah, so we play on Tuesday night. We're able to win the game pretty late, and then we get up at 8 a.m. and leave on the bus, headed all the way to Nebraska. Kearney, knew there was going to be some weather somewhere in there, didn't know when, kind of like what's going on in Oklahoma right now, but it was cold. We got there, got to practice that evening, tried to do a radio show with you, which I didn't do a very good job. I was distracted. I think we were in the middle of practice. But anyway, we were able to just get ready for that game, and our guys played tremendous that night. We're a place we've had a hard time winning.
It's a hard place to play.
Yeah, they had great fans. Mm-hmm. They love basketball, beautiful arena. And their style of play, they play 5 out, hard to guard. And so that was a great win for us on the road. And it really gave us an opportunity to get off to a great start for the weekend.
And at that time, 4-game winning streak. You take it into Fort Hays, and like you said, you had the lead for most of the game, as many, I think, as 10 points in the second half. And then they came back, hit some threes late in the game. and you had a final play. You had one timeout left. You called the play. You had to bring it the length of the court. Made a half-court pass.
6 seconds left.
Yeah, and you got it into the hands of two of the guys that you'd want to. They touched the ball, Isaiah Wade and Callan Hayden.
Yeah,
but
I would have ran something different. We didn't get to what I wanted to, but we got a shot. It wasn't a great shot, but we didn't make it. And they played really good. Coach Johnson's a tremendous coach. They play well in that building. It's a beautiful facility also. So we competed. We had opportunities, we just didn't get it done, and you try to move on.
And you got to turn around and play that same team at home on Wednesday afternoon, 3:30 contest, and fans are going to be able to come back to that game in a limited fashion.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to get to talk about that in the next segment, but that's going to be a lot of fun having them back in.
And in the game, let's talk about the last two games. The game especially, though, at Missouri Western, they hadn't lost a game at home all year, 8-0. At home, that they were on a losing streak. They had played the day before, and they got out to the lead very early, but you guys battled back, and then by halftime it was a 2-point game, and then the second half was all yours.
Just an amazing effort by our guys, and I'm thankful we were able to find a way to get it done in tough circumstances, like we've mentioned, but that's the kind of guys we have, and hopefully we can continue to build on what we were able to accomplish on that Sunday afternoon.
All right, well, there's more to come here on Inside Broncos Basketball with Coach Bob Hoffman. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Hey, Al, I thought we were meeting at Othello's.
Hey, Jack, I am at Othello's.
Well, I'm looking around and I don't see you. Well, wait, are you at Othello's in Edmond?
No, I'm at Othello's in Campus Corner in Norman.
Oh, great. Well, fortunately, both Othello's have great Italian food.
They sure do, and I'm having the baked ziti.
Ooh, I'm having chicken marsala.
Let's continue with the meeting.
Yeah, sure thing, over the phone, but I need one thing.
What's that?
Your credit card number, because you're buying. Othello's Italian Restaurant on Campus Corner in Norman and in downtown Edmond.
As employers, we have the powerful and unique ability to restore hope, to help people and families rebuild their lives. Express Employment Professionals of Oklahoma has been doing just that for nearly 40 years. With 30 offices across the state, we are the largest staffing company in Oklahoma. Oklahomans rely on us as trusted allies to provide opportunities, and those opportunities start with you.
Because what we do is so much more than giving people jobs. We help them find their purpose, their pride, and their dignity. And since we began, Express Employment Professionals of Oklahoma has done just that for more than 600,000 Oklahomans. You need good people? We have a proven history of finding them. So Oklahoma, let's get back to work.
Welcome back inside Broncos basketball with Coach Bob Hoffman. I'm Tony Sellers, and we talked about the games that you played last week. We're going to look a little bit at what happened last week, starting off with that Lincoln game.
And one thing I know we'll be able to see in the film is there's nobody in the building.
Exactly.
and that's going to change here this next week, so that's going to be great that we'll get to have a few people in the stands. A great execution here. Cam ripped it and went right to the rim. He's really good at that move. Carson did a good job finding. We tried to trap their bigs because they were really talented, and I think it got us going defensively. We rotated really well out of it, got a lot of deflections, and got some passes up the floor for easy baskets. And that's been a big thing for us since the Christmas break, how many easy baskets we've been getting, pushing the ball a little harder up the floor in transition. Kind of a little bit the same kind of action. They get a steal right here, and they're going down the floor, but our guys did a good job getting back. We didn't give up the easy basket, but they just went time and time. They were getting to the rim. Just really good offensive team, and they're athletic. And so they zoned us some, played some man. We had multiple guys make plays for us to make it happen.
See Callan Hayden there with the jumper, wasn't able to get that one to go.
Yeah, he's had a lot of those.
Great job penetrating.
Yeah, he has. He's really playing a high level. Jalen Turner with a good defensive stop, and this is what we've been trying to do right here: push the ball harder, find shooters, get shots to go, and we've been making a lot of those. You know, like you mentioned in the first segment, our percentages have really grown, and I think it's because we're really sharing the ball, and we're understanding more what we're looking for. And you know, we had a lot of new players. It takes a little while to get used to how you're playing. We started out a 17-1 start, as it just showed on the clock there. Got off to a big start. We had a lot of people hit threes, including Connor Caliban came in and got a couple threes in the first half, almost got a third one right before the buzzer.
Yeah, you know, you were saying you couldn't remember that game last week. It just came back to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody was going to hit a shot in this game.
Yeah, it took
you
a while.
missed your first 10.
That's right.
But came back strong and played great defense for a majority, bulk of the game. But there we see Hayden. And yesterday,
He shoots 77%. Pretty much.
Well, he shot 9 for 9 yesterday, including 2 of 2 from 3. That's just incredible.
Yeah, he's really doing a good job finding baskets. There's Jalen Turner. He's really long with his steps, able to get to the rim. And, you know, our ability to shoot the three has really opened up the inside game for Isaiah Wade. He had a monster game yesterday, and he's been playing at that level. Seth Hurd's been shooting free throws well. But our three-point shooting is leading to us getting more baskets in the paint. This game right there against Lincoln, we had a lot of points in the paint, and then finished the week with Missouri Western having 50-10 edge.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. 50-10 in the paint.
That's quite a discrepancy.
And Isaiah
Even
Wade.
I can figure out the difference.
No, I do. That's easy to figure
40.
out.
It's 40 points, Tony.
That's right, and you had 5 times as many points in the paint as they
That's
did.
good, Grandview math.
Isaiah Wade, you mentioned him, 2 games in a row, 20-point double-doubles. He had over 25 in one game, 28 in the other game, dozen rebounds, 13 rebounds, back-to-back games. And doing it without, you know, he picked up, I think, 1 foul yesterday, none the day before. He plays with finesse and power. That's a combination you don't see a lot.
Yeah, and when he first got here last year, I'd seen him on tape, but you know, he redshirted last year, and I thought from practice, watching him in practice, that he'd have a chance to be one of the top rebounders in the country. And it's taking a little while to get used to everything. He hadn't played in a couple years, basically, and every time out, I think he's getting more comfortable and understanding what we're wanting. But he's getting more freed up to go rebound and play the kind of game he wants to play too, which is a culmination of both. You know, you got to first kind of understand the complexities of whatever the team is trying to ask of you, and then in the midst of that, how do I find freedom to do what I do well? And all our guys are getting better at that, and maybe I didn't do as good a job teaching at the beginning, but they are doing an amazing job right now of getting things in the right places at the right time for the right reasons.
Well, I think part of it too is getting used to each other because
No
they
doubt
haven't
about
played
it.
together, and now you're seeing passes that are just, you know, natural.
Yeah.
They're not having to think about it. They're dribbling down court, and you see this ball go. Who's he throwing it to? And there's a guy open under the basket.
Well, they expect it to
Yes.
be happening, and they are relying on each other to get to the right spots and have the right reads. And so that's why our flow and why we were able to score 101 is we were pushing the ball when we could, and then we're executing when we can't. And if we can keep doing that, we're hard to guard. We just got to get better defensively.
Yeah, it's a fun team to watch, and you'll have a chance to do that this week from now on. And also on Saturday, the women's team back in action at home. We'll talk to Coach Guy Hardiker about that after we take a break here on Inside Broncos Basketball with Coach Bob Hoffman.
As a staffing company, our business is jobs, but our heart is people. For nearly 40 years, Express Employment Professionals of Oklahoma has believed that people are the heart and soul of our business. As the largest staffing company in the state, we partner with companies throughout Oklahoma to provide more opportunities across more industries to find more jobs. And now more than ever, we need good people. People like you who deserve good opportunities. People who are even more ready, willing, and able to rejoin the workforce than ever before. The human spirit is so much stronger than anything that can happen to it, proving over and over that through adversity always comes opportunity. And we're here to help you find yours.
We have jobs. You have what it takes. So Oklahoma, let's get to work.
Welcome back. Tony Sellers with you, along with Coach Bob Hoffman. And as I mentioned, back to doubleheader action at home, and you get to have fans in the stands. And not only do they get to see your team, which is exciting to do, but also the women's team. Coach Guy Hardiker's done a great job here for a number of years, and he's got another exciting ball club this year.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They're able to press. He's had several different young ladies have been players of the week in the league, and they're able to get pressure on people, hit shots. They work really well together, but he's been a great coach for a long time. He's done it at the high school level. He was a professional in the baseball ranks and Hall of Famer here at UCO, so we're excited to get to work with him every day. Him and Coach Davis do a great job with the women's program, and we're thankful that a lot of times that's a strained relationship. Men's and women's basketball coaches don't always get along.
Yeah, you're fighting for court time. Yeah. You're fighting for resources.
But I've had the great fortune being around good people, and he is definitely one I enjoy being around every day.
And Guy Hardiker doesn't take himself too seriously.
No.
Had a chance to catch up with him and talk about his career here at UCO.
I started coaching high school boys basketball in the late 80s. And I was a high school coach for 19 years. And then I actually went to school here in the early 80s, and I was a baseball player. So I knew most of the administration that was here at the time, and then the girls' job opened up. My wife applied for it for me because I was unsure if I was wanting to because I was coaching boys for 19 years, and this would be my first experience coaching women. And so grateful she did that. And then I've been here 15 years, and so that's kind of been, I haven't been to a lot of places, 2 high schools and 1 college. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge for everybody, our players and our coaches, and dealing with the pandemic. So we've had 3 quarantines, and several girls have actually had the COVID. Both coaches and the coaching staff has had it as well. And it's just, like I said, it's been a challenge. And I think maybe the most difficult part, and I've said this before, was getting them in shape. Because consistently, just getting the kids there consistent, it was very difficult. Yeah, we started the season, first game we had 7 kids. And we ended up winning that game, and then we won another one where we had a few more kids, and then we had half the team had to quarantine, and we lost a couple in a row, and we were really, I felt like we were kind of struggling to figure out our roles with the team, the players. And so as this kind of the last month, we've had our whole team. And I think we have lost 1. I think we're about 7-1 since that started. So we're playing a lot better now. But some of the other teams are battling what we battled early. Missing a few players here and there, and you take one player out of the lineup, it can mess up an entire set or an entire offense. So, we're getting better as a team, and I'm proud of the progress we're making. But I'm realist about this. I know any day somebody we play or somebody on our team just could get popped and have the virus, and then we're back to ground zero. Our leading scorer is Kelsey Johnson. She is a senior that has elected to come back for another year. She's a 6'2", 6'3" post girl that's right now currently leading the league in scoring and second in the league in rebounding. And so I know everybody in the league wants a Kelsey Johnson on their team. I'm grateful to have her. She was a Division I transfer from UT Arlington, and she's made us a lot better. And then we have, I think our second leading scorer right now is a girl named Brooke Rayner, and she was out with COVID first part of the year, missed a couple of starts, a couple of games there. Took a while to get her in the lineup, but she's shooting almost 40% from 3, averaging close to 10 points a game. And then J.C. Littell is probably our third leading scorer, and she's shooting somewhere around the mid 33% from three, and is a really hard-nosed, tough kid. Mm-hmm. So those are kind of our top three players right now. Well, we're getting better for one, and the last two games we have 4 losses on the year, and 2 of those losses were teams we just beat, and we had a freshman step up like a second semester girl instead of a first semester girl. The young ones would typically make a lot of mistakes, and I'm not sure what their role is, but we've got one we moved into the lineup. She's starting full time at the 4 position for us, and to be quite honest, I mean, we played well all night, but she stepped out and made a 3 when we had to have it, got an offensive rebound, made 2 free throws when we had to have it. And that says a lot about a girl getting a lot better as a freshman. And by the way, her name is Kaylee Young. And I hope it just gets normal again, where there's some people in the stands and we have a conference tournament and we have a chance to have a regional tournament, and I just hope it kind of gets back to that. I'd be surprised if we make it all the way to a regional tournament, but I would, and not team-wise, I'm just talking about as the year on a whole for every team. But that's the goal. I mean, the kids are still hanging on to that dream that they're going to get to play in the playoffs, and we hope that occurs. So that's our biggest hope right now. And then secondly, I would love to get through this season without any injuries. Knock on wood, because everything you're doing right now this year, knowing that they get their year back, is really and truly for next year.
And great feature with Coach Guy Hardiker, and again, appreciate his support for everything we do for Broncos basketball, which is a team effort, both men and women, and that's the way kind of the whole athletic department is here.
Yeah, everybody's working for the same thing, trying to elevate student athletes to be their best in everything that they do, and he's a special coach, and really enjoy our relationship and our friendship.
All right, we'll come back to wrap things up right after this timeout. You're watching Inside Broncos Basketball with Coach Bob Hoffman.
Hey, Al, I thought we were meeting at Othello's.
Hey, Jack, I am at Othello's.
Well, I'm looking around and I don't see you. Well, wait, are you at Othello's in Edmond?
No, I'm at Othello's in Campus Corner in Norman.
Oh, great. Well, fortunately, both Othello's have great Italian food.
They sure do, and I'm having the baked ziti.
Ooh, I'm having chicken marsala.
Let's continue with the meeting.
Yeah, sure thing, over the phone, but I need one thing.
What's that?
Your credit card number, because you're buying. Othello's Italian Restaurant on Campus Corner in Norman and in downtown Edmond.
Welcome back, Coach. Another week to climb in the standings. Now, we've gotten a lot of these games made up. You're playing 12 games in the month of February in 28 days. And now we can start kind of looking at positioning for the conference tournament.
Yeah, as we're speaking right now, we're tied for 5th, and with the team we just played, Missouri Western, and so head-to-head we would be 5th, but there's so many games to play, and the way the conference is doing it, it's 80% what your record is and 20% of total number of games. So we don't know if everybody will get to the end playing all the games, but we're short a few of everybody else, but we're gaining. We're gaining on the standings, and we're gaining on the number of games we've played. So like you mentioned, we have several left, and we got 2 this week. They're going to be big force home games. It would be a great thing if we could find a way to get 2 more at home.
And it's not out of the realm of possibility for UCO to be hosting a first-round game in the tournament. They're going to be played on campus sites.
Yeah, they are, and right now we're just focused on Fort Hays. Coach speak, coach talk. I know folks like yourself, the press, the media, they all like to look to the end game. Right now, we got to focus on today and keep working every moment to be the best we can be, and that's what we're doing. Fort Hays got us 3rd place on Saturday, and now we get a chance to play them Wednesday afternoon, an afternoon matinee, so to speak, which is unusual in college basketball, but we're going to have one of those on Wednesday.
Yeah, men's only game on Wednesday, then a doubleheader against Newman on Saturday, and you'll play 3:30 in both slots. And
both of them we need to get. We've lost to both teams on the road, and there are opportunities for us ahead, as you mentioned, but we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We understand what we were before break, And, you know, you're not too far away in this league from going on a stretch where it's really difficult and you can't get your head above water. So we've got to continue getting better at what we're doing. And I think that's why our guys' competitiveness and their willingness to listen to detail and work hard and everything they're doing has really given us the opportunity to be where we are right now.
Well, and you mentioned it, an example of here today, gone tomorrow. Missouri Western was 9-2 at one point. They've lost 5 games in a row now, and they're still in that top 5 with you, but you're coming from the other direction. That was kind of teams crossing paths yesterday, and you guys jumped on them.
Well, they were rated in the top 25 for a good part of the first semester, and so for even after the first semester, so it was great for us to get that win on the road and their first loss. But you know, we've got 4 games out of 5 at home. The next 2 weeks, we could really do ourselves a lot of favors in every aspect of everything you were talking about earlier that I'm not going to mention, and put us in a great position to finish. But we are going to have to find a way against a really good Fort Hays team that's well organized and maybe as well coached as any team in the league.
Yeah, they certainly did a great job of game planning down the stretch on Saturday.
So you're saying I didn't? That's what he's saying.
Well, I didn't.
That's what he's saying.
Of course I didn't.
That's okay.
Fans will be able to come in a limited fashion. Going to be limiting attendance to about 400.
Yep.
But there'll be some tickets available online. Season ticket holders will be able to come in. Find out more about that at broncosports.com.
And some students and faculty, up to 100 will be able to come
as well. Go to Bronco Sports online. Chris Brannick does a great job keeping everybody informed.
It's amazing how many sports we have, and he's the guy taking care of everybody.
And he's helping out on the radio broadcast. He's a man of many talents.
Yeah, we're thankful for him.
Yes, does a very good job. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Inside Broncos Basketball with Coach Bob Hoffman. We want to thank our crew here at UCO Central and want to thank all of our great sponsors, including Express Employment Professionals of Oklahoma. We'll be back again next week with another edition of Inside Broncos Basketball. Thanks for joining us.